Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and it's Monday morning when you're watching this, or Monday sometime during the day when you're watching this. Normal news day, but not normal anymore. Now our normal Tuesday videos, which are these like preview videos, are going to be on Monday, and it looks like our patches are going to be on Tuesday for now. So tomorrow will be a patch review video, just kind of getting into the flow of War of the Visions worldwide here. The whole week has shifted backwards one day. It is what it is. Not a huge deal. Now, I want to start this preview video by mentioning something that I missed in the news video, and that's the dual guns. These have a nice little buff right here for Mher. So limited time Mher, limited additional ability for Mher equipment item dual moons guns. A lot of words. Here's what that means. If you have Mher, you have her built, and you have these weapons equipped to her, she will get 2,000 additional damage against the boss, which that's a big deal. She'll get raid boss resistance 30. So think of it like single target resistance, but against the raid boss, and damage limit 1500. This is a massive buff. This will definitely help her be able to probably like solo this thing as long as you have any other gear, maybe some AP restore, something like that. So definitely take advantage of this. If you pulled Mher, if you built her, she's probably going to be your best person to be soloing this raid. Now for me, I don't have Mher, so I'm probably going to be relying on the elemental advantage of Alaya, who does have, this gunner job to mix in some other, to mix in some missile damage if you need to, but take advantage of your multi-hit attacks, your big damage dealing things. Typically speaking, if you're looking to solo raids, like, this one or previous ones or raid revivals or whatever, you try to get the unit that you have that's best against the boss. You want them to turn one, pop bells or some kind of AP restore item, and then just start going to town on the boss. Hopefully with that AP and their like innate tankiness, they have enough to deal with it. If not, don't ever feel bad about running 2 units to clear a boss. That's fine as well. Or if you have to run a full group of 4, run a full group of 4. Just try to find a way where you can farm this boss by yourself. That's kind of my tip on this one, and then I'll probably release a video about what I'm doing to farm the boss once I start doing it, but I'm fully planning on using Alaya plus bells or something along those lines. Now, as far as what's coming out this week, Bloody Road. We've already talked about this vision card quite a bit. It is an attack and dexterity stat line vision card. Not super in love with the dexterity as the third stat right there. The unit effect is attack up 10%, acquired AP up 30. Again, sort of mid. The attack up 10% is nice. Acquired AP 30 is also nice, but I'm not in love with that. It's the party effect on this card that I think is like triple S tier, like S tier, because you get 24 single target resist, which is more than a normal single target resist from like the old rainbow cards like Odin or something like that. Plus you get reaction block rate 32, which is the worst of the 3 buffs, and it's still really good. And then agility 15. The big deal here, like I've talked about, is you get the agility and the single target resist on one card. So if you're playing job specific teams and your job is like gunner or sword knight or staff, mace, this is the thing. Like, this is a must pull, I think, for those job types. I'm in love with this card. I'm definitely pulling it and building it. Then we have our freebie, the raid card, and it's actually pretty decent. Now this one, you have attack and magic balance on the stat line, which I really like. This is great for new players, especially if you're a new player playing one of these jobs. You can put this card on anybody. The unit effect is really good, 8% agility and 8 AoE resist. I think this unit effect is like top tier. It's not like maybe SSSS tier, but it's at least like an A+ tier. Getting agility and AoE resist on a unit is insane. The party effect, pierce attack 24, critical evade 12, and accuracy 18. Yeah, this is where it kind of falls off a little bit. Like, these are just okay party effects. Still, it is a card that's going to be free to farm and build, so go ahead and do so. And most importantly, you get this Esper right here. Now let's start on the stat page for the Esper. The first thing I look at is like, how fast is it? It has 16 agility, but more on that later. And it has attack 109 compared to magic 55. So this is an Esper that's meant to be worn on a physical attack unit, and 16 agility for an MR is fast for an MR, but I got a lot more to say about it than that. Look at this right here. On the skill tree, if you go down the acquired AP route all the way, you pick up 5 more agility. That 5 plus this 16 puts this at a 21 agility Esper, which is blazing fast, like fastest in the game sort of fast. So if you're a brand new player, this Esper is definitely worth having and building. If you're not playing water, like as a new player, well, definitely the left side of this is all about building into water attack. Still, you can do away with the water attack. Look for the critical damage, accuracy, pierce attack, critical hit rate. If you're fighting fire teams, you have fire killer on there. You also have lightning resistance. There's plenty of lightning in the game right now. Pierce resist right here. So generically built, it's not the best, except man, oh man, I'm telling you, having access to a 21 agility Esper will just be a good thing for the rest of your War of the Visions account. Whether you're agility tuning some squads later, high score PvE or PvP, I think this Esper is really good for an MR, mostly because of that increased agility. And then accuracy, critical hit rate, stuff like that's never bad. Okay, next, the actual piece of gear that we're farming in the raid is the Archer's Monocle right here, or Sharpshooter's Monocle, I think is what it's called in global. You're gonna build the critical hit rate version of this. It has 18 critical hit rate on it. Then it's equipable by your missile jobs, right? Gunners, archers, all of that. Critical damage 15, I really like as an accessory. And then I really, really like that when you crit, you decrease AP by 10 on the target. So if you're building a team that has a gunner that's sitting back there trying to just drop bombs on the enemy, you might as well have them knocking AP off the enemy as well. This could be, like to give you an idea of how important or how clutch this can be, say you're playing in somebody like a King Mont or a Vega, or one of these, damage dealing units that walks in and uses a limit break to inflict some big status effects. Well, those limit breaks are expensive on the AP front. Knocking 10 AP off of one of those units might force them to use a cheaper move, and then they'll never end up generating up to that limit break again. It could be the difference between forcing an auto attack out of an opponent or not. I think this is just really nice. Is it game-changingly good? No. Is it worth using in some situations? Yeah, I definitely think it is. And it's an accessory, so that opens up your TMR slot for an armor on some of those units if you wanted to go that route. Now, we're also getting some upgrades this week. So Santa's clothes, the winter coat, is getting its +6. This is an evade piece of gear, so the evasion goes from 29 up to 33. If you're building the shield version of this, which there are some crazy folks out there who do that, it goes from 10 defense to 11 and 11 spirit to 12. Build the evade version, get your 4 more evade. Then the actual passive effect buffs here are also nice. So if we look at this, you'll see the evasion rate goes from 10 up to 15. So 5 more evade there plus 3 more up top makes this an 8 more evade piece of gear. Plus, you still get the 10 light resist, plus you now get debuff resistance for all elemental resist 50. So if you're getting elemental debuffed by a rain limit break or something like that, this will prevent half of that debuff from applying. This was already a great piece of evade gear. It's a greater piece of evade gear now. There you go. I'm sure it will be farmable in this raid. I'm sure you'll have access to stuff in this raid to level that thing up. Now, we're also getting some master ability 2s for a group of units that came out in that weird time where they have their transcendence already, but never got their second master ability quest. So Queen Mher being a very popular one of these, her AoE resist and reaction block rate 20 are staying the same, but she is crucially picking up magic attack resist pin 20. That'll really help her damage out, and 40 single target resist if her HP is above 60%. What I think about this buff right here is this is meant to help her fight these Alaya lightning teams. Right now, Alaya, one of the strengths of Alaya the Alabaster is that her multi-hit attack, her multi-target attack, is 3 single target hits. So somebody like Mher could walk out there with a bunch of AoE resist. She's got her passive right here for AoE resist. She walks out there, but Alaya doesn't care about that, and she's single target hitting you. Hey, now, at least if you're full HP or high on HP, you're going to mitigate a lot of that. 40 single target resist, a big deal. I love this upgrade for Mher. Okay, Glassy Flagbearer. So Flag Glassy finally getting her master ability 2 as well. Previously, her master ability was Pierce Attack 15, critical hit rate 20. The critical hit rate is jumping to 30, and the Pierce Attack is staying at 15. She's also getting 10 AoE resist and 15 critical damage. So mostly what you see here is a little bit of survivability, but a big jump in DPS. Upping the critical hit rate with an increase to critical damage will help her do more, just do more DPS, right? So that's really nice. I like that route with Glassy, the Flagbearer of Reform. She was already a good unit. She's a little bit better now. Then Chuno. Now, Chuno, always been kind of an interesting unit. Definitely like a PvE chaining high score superstar, but lacking a bit in the PvP. What they give him is this. His attack 5% goes to attack 10%. That will help him in PvE. His AoE resist 10 goes to AoE resist 20. That's a PvP buff. And he's picking up 10 more evasion rate. So they're really trying to lean in to making him more of a water evade type duelist unit. I don't know if it'll work. He will be a little bit better at PvE high scoring teams though, so that's cool. And then an MR unit, Revela, one of our 50 cost MRs, getting her master ability too as well. Previously, she was Ice Killer 20, AP consumption down 20. Both of those are staying the same, but she's picking up 30 spirit penetration. That's a big buff, and she's dropping aggro by 3. Really, really good buff right here to a unit who's a very strong cost limited fire unit. So if you're a Revela fan, I think life's looking good for you. Good luck farming this raid, everybody. I don't anticipate, like, so many people have Alaya, and she's a large bonus unit. I don't anticipate there being too much of a problem with the raid this week. Still, I will at least show you guys my runs if you want to see them, coming later on in this week. It's going to be a weird one. Figuring out what days to do everything. Streams are probably moving to Tuesdays now, right? Because the patch is on Tuesday, so streaming on Tuesday makes sense. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.